Hello, today it's my pleasure to share with you a game played between myself and a friend of mine, Mike Smith. And in this game, Mike really gets the better of me in a pretty fantastic way. We're going to start out just following the moves. I'm playing the black pieces. Mike has the white ones here with e4 being played, and I play c6. d4, d5. He exchanges and goes into a Panna Botvinnik attack. And early on in the opening, I actually played fairly well. We'll go ahead and just go through a few more moves here. There's nothing through this point that I've really done that I would say is too bad yet. However, this next move, h6, really wasn't necessary. If you're playing this position, I would encourage you here instead to consider a move like the move I play later on, which is knight into d5, with the idea of just trying to get some pieces to exchange. Both the bishop on e7 would attack the bishop on g5, and the knight on d5 would attack that knight on c3, so I'm guaranteed to get a few of these minor pieces off the board. And once that happens, when your opponent's got a lot of pieces that are better positioned than yours, which clearly here White's minor pieces are dominating mine, you want to go ahead and exchange those. However, the move h6, which I played in the game, is a bit loosening. I'm probably going to exchange my bishop on e7 later on as I did in the game, and without that bishop being there to help cover those dark squares, and also with the idea that because of the pressure along the light squares, I probably need to play a move like g6. h6 seems a bit incorrect here, so again I would just say that was probably one of my first inaccuracies within this opening. So I play knight into d5 after that, and the bishop exchanges like I said, and now we just see White going after those light squares to see how I'm going to respond to defending them. So I play g6, and again we see that h6 move that I'm kind of regretting at this point. a3 is played, and I play bishop into d7. Again, what I'm working on doing here is creating a blockade on that d pawn. I've got my knight, my bishop supporting this pawn, and we're working on, or I am rather, working on making that d4 pawn a weakness. But White obviously is going to have some ideas of potentially sacrificing on g6, and so the knight comes into e4, play my rook over, and so now White has his pieces perfectly, I'd say they're really optimally placed on the board. And I play b6 here in a moment just to keep his knight out of c5. But my next move, after h4, I'm looking at the board for a while, and I come to the conclusion at the time that I can play the move f6. And this was an unfortunate decision because when I first looked at this, I thought I had knight takes g6, knight takes, and when this knight moves, say, knight takes f6 or knight to d6, I had seen that I could just play knight into f4, where my knight would support my knight and attack the queen, and then perhaps my opponent's knight is just dying. Well, the unfortunate thing for me in this situation is that after the knight recaptures, White has this brilliant and beautiful move to a square that I hadn't even considered the knight going to, which is g5. And as you can see highlighted here, the knight attacks the e6 pawn, and from there it'll fork my king, queen, and rook with check, while simultaneously the queen and bishop working along that light square battery there will attack my knight on g6. So when I play my defensive resource that I thought I had, knight to f4, Mike quickly and simply plays knight takes e6 check, and I'm completely busted. If I capture the knight, obviously he just takes my knight on g6 and mates me, so I play my king back, and after I played my king back, he just plays knight takes f4, and I have nothing. I'm completely busted here. My knight can't recapture because of the mate on h7. So basically, in round one of this tournament, I got it handed to me pretty good due to an oversight. So if you're going to make a move that's very you're trying to tempt your opponent into doing something, make sure you consider all of the different things they can do. There's pretty much like a rookie type mistake here in this game. It's pretty embarrassing. And just look forward to showing the rest of the games in the tournament that I played, and hopefully you can learn something from my mistake in this game and from the other games I share with you. Thank you.